Hi everybody, Daphne here. Sorry for taking so long to put up another art video, but I can assure you I have a very good reason. For those of you who don't know, I draw a comic called Tall Tales, a fantasy adventure comic with a furry twist. It's about a group of friends and warriors who are sent on a mission to find the stolen seal of Iberion, an artifact possessing great magical power. In their quest, they end up inadvertently in the middle of a war between the rats and the trolls, and their characters, as well as their friendship, is tested as a result. After completing 20 issues that make up the first volume, Thieves' Quest, I have been working the past 2 months on the first issue of the second chapter called Tall Tales, Tears of the Mother. In this art demo, I'm drawing out the character study for two characters that will feature prominently in this volume, Foxfard and Grey Mouser. If the name sounds familiar, they should. They're furry parodies of Fafard and Grey Mouser, characters created by Fritz Lieber. Foxford and Grey Mouser, a fox and mouse respectively, are best friends who adventure for money and fame and serve as comedic foils for the constantly dour and serious Ravenwood. They join up with Ravenwood's group after being rescued from a Calazarian prison. First, because they wonder what kind of reward could possibly await on the other side of Ravenwood's quest, but then because Foxfard develops a crush on Clea, the group's resident priestess and healer. When I worked on my first volume of Tall Tales, I wasn't as thorough as I should have been, and even had the bad habit of drawing out characters straight on the page, as opposed to planning them out beforehand. In my older and wiser artistic years, I wanted to be a bit more careful with this new chapter. In this case, I wanted to make sure I knew what the characters looked like before I committed them to the actual comic book pages. Sounds pretty obvious, but hey, some of us need to learn these lessons the hard way, it seems. So in this demo, I went back to the original Tall Tales series and tightened up the characters based on what I did already. Foxfard wasn't too difficult. I was pretty happy with his design already. In this incarnation, though, I took advantage and decided to tweak Grey Mouser to a design I was more satisfied with. With that I had in Thieves' Quest. I figured if I was going to use the new chapter to try out new art techniques, I might as well fix Mouser's character as well. The changes aren't particularly drastic, but enough that he looks more mouse-like, as opposed to a more generic furry character that may be a mouse because I'm telling you he's a mouse and not because he looks like a mouse. In these character studies, I'm only doing one pose. I know a lot of other artists like to do full turnarounds and animator style sheets, which I'm sure is actually a pretty good idea. But in my case, I don't need to be that thorough. At least at this time, though, if I have an issue with a design, I'll just make sure to figure it out in my sketchbook first instead of on the final pages. God forbid. So here I am using my usual rapidographs to get the nice clean black lines I can't seem to get from microns or even the Copic multi-liners I prefer for convention sketches. The only drawback is that rapidographs are very messy and tend to explode ink all over my fingers if I'm not paying attention. If you remember a previous rapidograph demo that I had before, you actually see on camera uh, the rapidograph exploding on me while I'm demonstrating it. So yeah, they're messy. The last thing I need is to accidentally ruin my piece by smearing ink on it. So I have to make sure I'm paying attention when I'm using them and catch the ink when it hits my fingers before it hits the artwork. But then again, that's why I always keep white out on hand in case that's exactly what happens. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope Tall Tales is something that intrigues you. If it does, you can head over to my website talltalesonline.com and read all 20 issues of Thief's Quest for free. If you'd rather have something a bit more tangible, I also have the collected trade available at my online store. I also have a Patreon up so you can support me creating the next 8 issues, and you can get to see the completed pages before anyone else does as one of the rewards. So, again, I hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe for more art demos. So thanks again, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye!